So the big application areas for these vertical cavity lasers there's quite a large number of applications. The first one is in short distance data communications. So they can be used to communicate over very high speeds, at very high speeds over short distance optical links. They're also used for proximity sensing. They can be used for 3D imaging. They can be used for industrial applications, industrial heating. So many applications, but what's been driving our growth in VCSEL technology has been a combination of data communications and some new technologies which have been introduced into, for example, smartphones, such as laser autofocus. You may have seen in the latest smartphones, they're using a very high-speed focusing device called a laser autofocus. This uses predominantly a VCSEL device, and essentially what happens is it fires a laser pulse to the object, and the reflected pulse is detected by the phone. It very rapidly calculates how long that took to be bounced off the object and come back. And since one knows the speed of light, it's easy to calculate what the distance is. And the big advantage of laser autofocus is that conventional focusing optics use ambient light, which means when it gets to dim conditions or very dark conditions, it's very difficult for them to focus quickly. And the second problem is in rapidly moving objects. So using laser autofocus, you overcome both of those things. Since the laser is self-illuminating, if you like, then it's able to operate under any light conditions. And secondly, because it's very rapid, then you can photograph fast-moving objects very quickly. So those are the two areas which have been driving the growth of the past couple of years. But in the future, we see many more applications for VCSELs, including 3D sensing, we're quite excited about that. And this is where you can take an image capture and have all the depth information within that, using a similar technology. So if you can imagine, rather than having a single beam reflect off the object, you have an array of beams which reflect off of a scene. So typically in a photograph you take today, you get a 2D image of a 3D environment. If you could capture all of the depth within that image, then you have so much more power in the image capture that you've taken. So that's a big application we see for the future. Autonomous drive vehicles will also use things like LiDAR, which is the equivalent of radar using light. LiDAR stands for light detection and ranging, and where radar stands for radio detection and ranging. So there's many applications for VCSELs in the future. So we see this as a very sustainable and high growth business.